Hello there, welcome back to another episode of World of Tanks with Gainy Titan, and this is another one of the bonus tier 10 bonus silver weekends, and I was trying out the IS-4, which I'd actually had in my garage for over a year and a half and never actually played it, never equipped it or anything. So the crew was actually ready to move over. I think I had accumulated the necessary experience, and I moved over the crew from the T10. So they would not have been as well trained a crew as the crew that went into the IS-7, which was my first Soviet crew to reach tier 9 and have been used in numerous premium tanks for various competitions over the last number of years, when the competitions with premium tanks mattered, and they were doing the points basis on the basis of your order on the experience table. So you got like 5 points for number 1, 4 points for 2, 3, 2 and 3 is 2, 3, 4 or something like that, and then 1 point for whatever 5, 4, 5 or something like that, and then you get so many points for an operation or whatever. You need to do these various point buys until you got the tank that you needed. Don't know if they're going to change the formula for next year. I'm actually getting a little bit tired of grinding for free tanks, and I may actually, I will probably cut down my World of War gaming, probably my YouTubing in general next year, but I'm going to discuss that in a kind of a video before the end of the year. However, IS-4, in some ways it's not as good as the IS-7. It doesn't have as good as armor, it's not as mobile, but, and its its drive handling and terrain and stuff isn't as good as the IS-4. Now I don't know how much that's the crew related, because I do have clutch braking and off-road driving in the crew with the IS-7, and I don't think I have them in this tank here, but the gun handling is better. It's a slightly faster rate of fire. It doesn't have as high an alpha, but the difference isn't huge. And it doesn't have, it has the same gun depression and elevation, but it has better penetration both for the regular and gold ammunition. It has slightly faster rate of fire, and it has better accuracy. The .38 accuracy compared to the .4 of the IS-7, and .4 is actually quite poor. .38 it's not great, but it's livable with, and you can conceivably engage in medium range shooting with some prospect of success with the IS-4, which you cannot often do with the IS-7, simply because the combination of lack of penetration and lack of accuracy means that you won't necessarily hit spots that you can penetrate. The armor in the IS-4 can hold up fairly well, but it's not as good as the IS-7, and you will quite typically finish a game in the IS-7 or the IS-4 with fairly low hit points, whereas you can often survive a game in the IS-7 largely intact by virtue of the armor, as long as they don't get a clear shot at your lower front plate. So we're holed up here at the moment. There's quite a lot of tanks in front of us, and there's quite a lot of tanks supporting us as well. So, although some of them are starting to go into move now towards the cap circle direction, because that is the usual kind of magnet. But the fortunate thing here is that the standard B was doing most of the spotting for me all along, and somebody just annihilated the 704 there. Just checking my flank. The enemy are starting to pay attention a little bit, but not really. No, it's just our tanks are going up. The 704 was a real problem because he had a direct shot at me, and I have to go closer to spot the enemy tanks. That Waffenträger is a one-shot kill, so I'm going to take the shot. Although he, as you demonstrated there, could penetrate me easily enough, and I think that leaves the Iron Rain is gone. Death Star died very early on, so it's the Gorilla and the T110E4 is here in front of me. And the problem is now that I've probably moved past the point where the tank destroyers behind me can support me, because you can see the tank destroyer manoeuvring around there. He's probably trying to find a spot where he can get a line of sight on these guys. And I've just taken a nasty hit from the T110E4. It is a pretty nasty tank destroyer as well, because it's very heavily armoured. I think it's better armoured than the main, than the heavy tank, the T110E5. And we bounced that one. Now again, I'm just trying to avoid allowing him access to the front of my tank, so that a good chance that I'll bounce shots otherwise. But when I put out to shoot, I'm vulnerable, and so is he. Though that one was way too late. And see, the thing is, if I advance on him, I'm almost certainly going to get shot by the Gorilla 15. Now the tank destroyer behind me has advanced a bit, but it's still not really in a position to support me. Another close escape there, and again not out in time, but I want to try and pre-position myself. T110E4 is thinking of going around, so I thought maybe I could get closer and I'd be more sure of my shots and get that one into the side of me, and I managed to bounce that one, which was very unfortunate. If I could have slipped that in under the top of the tracks, it would have gotten in and it would have put us. But I wouldn't have finished him. I would have needed one more shot at least. As you can see, we get this one through and still need to do 100 points of damage. But another hit on my part will kill him. But another hit in his part will kill me. In fact, a near miss with high explosives would kill me at this point. But we got him. That just leaves the Gorilla 15, and now I'm real problems here, because the Gorilla 15 is in full health. And it will take me, well, it will still take me about 2 shots, 3 shots maybe to kill him. Fortunately for me, the Gorilla 15 losing that large chunk of health means that the tank destroyer, which I think is the Jaeger, is coming up behind him, and therefore I have assistance. And probably a fairly intact assistance when it comes to health pool as well. So I can let the Jaeger take the risks. I can smooth. I've relocated now, so he shouldn't be expecting me here. He shouldn't know that I'm here. If he actually pokes around that corner to see me, to see where I've gone, I would get a shot in before he'd acquire me as a target. Since the Jaeger is advancing, I'm going to let the Jaeger take the risks. He's in a better position than I am. He's equally, or possibly even better, frontal armour than I do. His big problem is if the Gorilla would be more nimble to get around him. And the Gorilla is retreating back before him and not paying attention to me, so I got the shot in. He snaps one off, but managed to bounce it, and he was tracked, and I actually pick up the tracking assistance there as well. So I thank the Jaeger for his assistance, because without him I don't think I would have survived. And we then proceed to the last remaining enemies. There are only 2 tanks remaining on the enemy team. There's a 50 TP that's not too far away, and who's already facing overwhelming odds without me and the Jaeger joining the fight. And we have the remaining enemy tank destroyer, which is way off over the corner and is isolated as well, and again has multiple allied tanks coming in on top of him. And we've done reasonably well for ourselves in this game. We have, what, nearly 2,500 damage. We've bounced over 4,000 damage, and about 1,500 assistance damage. So this guy, however, yes, I screw up the shot because he actually was behind a rock there when I actually fired. And he's not going to last long enough for me to get a second shot. Got to get used to slow reloads at these high tier. When you're in top tier, actually, is the big thing. The defining characteristic compared to the lower tier games is how long it takes to reload the guns. And yeah, the last guy is going to be pinned down if he's not actually gone and dived into the water or something like that. So it's game over. We have won. And let's see now what the final result shows for us. Well, I don't think the score, my damage output rent has changed, so we made 68,000. Yep, we didn't do any blind firing. We got a second class mastery and a steel wall, and I think the other one is a Spartan. Is it Spartan? Yep. Yeah, and we came number one by experience. So overall, a very satisfactory result. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please press like, comment, share. It really helps the channel out. And if you have not already done so, please subscribe to the channel. I will catch you all again soon. Bye for now.